Floward's culture is in excellent shape. 3 independent surveys confirm that our people are highly motivated and deeply proud to work here. You can see the proof in the numbers. This gauge tracks our latest Employee Net Promoter Score, which recently jumped to plus 41.3, alongside a remarkably high motivation score of 84.1%. But those high marks hide a specific problem. Inside those exact same surveys, employees clearly stated they are not growing under their current leadership. To understand why, we have to look at how our people view their bosses. Our people like their managers. A 4-point scale measures the overall relationship employees have with their manager. That score sits at 3.3, performing well. But when we measure what that manager actually does for them, specifically coaching and development, the score drops a full band to 3.11, squarely in needs attention. These scores show that a strong personal bond with a manager is not the same thing as professional development. Being liked is one thing, being a coach is another. When we asked the team what would make Floward better, their top 2 requests were consistent, continuous recognition and defined career growth. The problem is how managers react when employees bring up these needs. Telling someone the answer takes about 11 seconds. Coaching them to discover that answer for themselves takes 11 minutes. Most managers choose the 11 seconds because it feels like managing. This creates the trap of the warm manager. They maintain a friendly environment, but they avoid having difficult developmental conversations because they don't want to disrupt that harmony. We cannot write a company policy that gives an employee career growth. We cannot spend a budget to make someone feel recognized. Both of those things happen inside a one-to-one conversation between a manager and an employee, or they do not happen at all. Closing our data gap requires a shift in perspective. We have to treat coaching as a precise, learnable conversational skill rather than an innate personality trait. To build that skill, we are rolling out a targeted program for 173 Floward people managers. We are going to teach them 2 specific conversational models. The first model is called GIFT. This is the framework our managers will use exclusively to develop someone. It starts with the goal. The employee must name the topic of the meeting, preventing it from becoming a standard status update. Next is Insight. The manager asks what the employee has already tried, forcing them to provide their own read of the situation first. Then comes Forward. The employee lists their options and chooses one concrete action. Finally, Track. The commitment is logged immediately in SAP before anyone leaves the room. For GIFT to work, managers have to break their strongest habit. They must completely stop solving problems for their team. By forcing the employee to do the thinking and commit to a specific action, the manager builds long-term capability, instead of just clearing a short-term task off their own desk. Development is only half the job. The second model we are introducing is OSIC, and it is the precise tool our managers will use to correct poor performance. It begins with Observe. The manager describes the exact action they saw, using pure facts without assuming any motives. Then they state the standard, clearly naming the expectation that was missed. People move toward a clear picture. Next is Impact. The manager ties that specific failure directly to a concrete customer outcome or the next person in the process chain. They finish with Commit, securing a specific, observable, and dated agreement for change. The philosophy driving OSIC is simple. Clear is kind. Eliminating vague language and harsh judgments is the only way to make corrective feedback fair. Mastering GIFT to develop and OSIC to correct gives our managers a complete conversational toolkit. They will walk into any one-to-one fully equipped to handle whatever scenario sits across from them. Standard corporate training usually involves sitting in a room looking at slides. We are replacing that with a one-day boot camp, where 60% of the time is strictly dedicated to live practice and roleplay. But a single day of training decays quickly. The boot camp is only the first step in a 12-week reinforcement phase designed to make these frameworks stick. Over that quarter, small groups of managers will meet in self-run pure pods. They will spend 3 hours practicing these difficult conversations on each other, with one strict rule: a complete ban on giving each other advice. The final layer of accountability rests with leadership. Every head of department will hold a mandatory 20-minute quarterly review with their managers, asking 4 fixed questions to audit their coaching progress. The entire system relies on this sequence. The initial boot camp falls apart without the 12-week peer pods, and those pods will fail if department heads skip that quarterly review. We also have to fix how we measure success. Right now, our named appraisal forms show a useless 98% agreement rate, simply because employees will not criticize their bosses on a permanent record with their name on it. We are switching to objective metrics. We will track a target of 3 logged conversations in SAP per manager per month. We will also run anonymous 5-question coaching pulse surveys with their teams before and after the program. This chart visualizes our ultimate success target. We are going to push our overall manager coaching index score out of the needs attention band, moving it from 3.11 up to a 3.3. We will execute this entire initiative using existing internal time across our 173 managers. There are 0 external vendors, no licensing fees, and no new headcount required. By standardizing these 2 conversations, Floward moves beyond just having well-liked managers, ensuring that every relationship actually produces the growth our people asked for.